Well, DeFoi, welcome in here to News Junkies, and we're visiting with Joanne Abruzzese. Did I pronounce that right?
Abruzzese.
Abruzzese. All right, I'll get this right one way or another. She is the executive director of the Simi Valley Community Foundation, and they're involved in a major build-out here in the city of Simi Valley. Joanne, welcome in here.
Thank you for having me.
Kind of give us a conception as to what's going to take place in this building.
We're developing what you call a one-stop shop, where 15 nonprofits will all be housed under one roof, hence we call it the Under One Roof campaign. 14 of the nonprofits are organizations that will need a counseling office or an office to run their organization out of, and the other half of the building will be dedicated to the free clinic of Simi Valley, where they currently are not under one roof and will be able to offer all their legal, dental, medical, and counseling services all under one roof.
That will be a major improvement for those particular services, because if they're scattered all throughout the city of Simi Valley, then that means people have to kind of run here, run there, there and here, and back and forth and to and fro.
Correct, and actually most of them don't have offices here in Simi Valley. You either have to go to Camarillo or Ventura to receive those services, and it makes it very difficult for the people living here who want to access those services.
I would think so, because not everybody in that position that needs those services would have access necessarily to dependable transportation to get them into Camarillo, Ventura, perhaps Oxnard, or other locations on the west end of the county, as opposed here to the east end of the county.
Correct. If they have to rely on public transportation, just getting to one appointment could take a whole day.
Now, Joanne, you're in the midst of a capital raising campaign. What are you targeting to raise to get this project open and the services available to the public?
We're raising $2.5 million for the construction of the building and remodel to build a clinic for the free clinic to use, and then operating expenses, which is what the city of Simi Valley is requiring us to have.
Now, you're the executive director of the Community Foundation, and you're really, I believe, the umbrella organization that's going to be overseeing this project.
Correct. The Simi Valley Community Foundation has a lease with the city of Simi Valley to lease this building for 50 years at $1 a year. And we've paid that $50, so it's ours for 50 years. The other organizations then will sublease under us.
Well, I'd like to have you negotiate my rent. Thank you very much. $1 a year, that is really peanuts. But the services that you're going to provide really will be, something that you really can't put a dollar amount to, because when you're helping people that need these services, that is something that, you really can't count in terms of dollars.
Right. It's an extremely valuable thing. When you think about some of the services coming in, such as Big Brothers and Big Sisters, they are 20% of their waiting list are kids from Simi Valley, and so for them it'll make it so much easier to find the bigs, as they refer to them, if they're here right here in Simi Valley. So those kids will get their mentor in a much speedier fashion.
In addition to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, what are some of the other organizations that are looking to take up residence here in this building?
We have SurePath Financial. They're an organization that provides credit counseling for free. We have many mansions who provide housing for low and extremely low income individuals. The Samaritan Center, which is here in town, but they'll just have a counseling office here, so they'll be able to do some of their one-on-one counseling that they're currently really not able to do. Life After Brain Injury provides services to people who have suffered from a brain injury and support to the families who live with that individual. They'll have their first home here. Lutheran Social Services and Jewish Family Services and Interface Family and Children's Services, Kids and Families Together, who provide counseling and support to families that have brought either foster kids in or adoptive kids into their family to help them create a whole family. And
There's
a
others.
lot of others, and I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. When you started putting this project together, did these organizations come to you, or did you go to them to say, this is our vision, this is what we want to do, we want to get everybody under one roof?
It came from us. We sent out a letter to a number of organizations, and we got 40 plus organizations responding to our request. And so we put a committee together to evaluate each of the organizations and came up with a list of organizations that made sense as far as creating a synergy of utilizing other services. Because every client comes into, let's say many mansions, they have more needs than just needing a home. A lot of them could benefit from credit counseling from SurePath Financial, or they have a child with special needs and they can use Lutheran Social Services, or they have medical issues and they can go to their free clinic.
So it sounds to me like there's going to be a lot of connectivity between the different organizations. The thing with selecting those different organizations, 15 in total, how hard of a process was that to whittle down from 40 down to 15?
We gave it a considerable amount of time. It probably took about 3 months for our committee to evaluate all the applications and ensure that the organizations were solid, which was really important. We wanted to know that they're going to be here in 50 years. So, but once we came down to that, the organizations were thrilled, and those, unfortunately, that, we said right now we don't have space or want to be on our waiting list, so that's where they are. But it's such a positive response, and they're all so very excited about coming.
Sounds to me like there was a groundswell of support when the initial letter went out.
It was. And community leaders, too, are just excited. And if you talk to some of the long-term residents here in Simi Valley, they could say this was an idea 40 years ago, and now it's finally coming
To fruition, and
Yeah.
you're going to see the fruits of the labor come together. Now, you were telling me that you want to get this online in pretty quick order.
Yes, I do. I'd like to get the word out. This would be a great opportunity for people to learn online what we're all about and what's going on.
All right, so that's a great segue, and thank you for that, for us to have you give a website, and we're going to come back in a little bit and re-explore that website, but if you can give a website and contact information as to where people can call you or get a hold of you via the web and learn more about this project, how would they go about doing that?
Our website is www.simivalleycf.org. You can email us at info@simivalleycf.org if you want more information. Our 800 number is 800-342-9953, and we're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Excellent. Now, how much money are you looking to raise and to generate to put this puppy online?
We need $2.5 million to get fully operational and inside.
And we'll get back to our discussion at the table in just a moment. We wanted to take a little time out and come out here into another room and take a look at what is called the donor wall. So, Joanne, tell us, what is this wall all about?
This is our simulated donor wall, which shows people who have given or would like to give to the project. And we have different levels, starting from below, which is the smaller boxes, which is 1,000 and up, all the way up to the green boxes, which is $100,000 or more. So with each level, that gets a little bigger. And eventually, we will have an actual donor wall outside with everyone's names who's given.
Now, I was noticing with this wall that there are still some spaces available. They're not all taken up yet.
Yes, and we'd like to fill them up. There is one box that I have to add to here, which is the Kaiser Foundation gave us $200,000, and I just became aware of that. So we will be adding Kaiser to this wall, but we'd like to fill up more boxes.
So any other organizations besides Kaiser that are looking to come on board and support this project?
Yes, we're obviously going after other grant organizations such as Weingart and California Wellness, but we're also looking at corporations and individual donors.
Now, one of them I noticed was the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities, and they're at this level, which is what level now?
That's 10,000 and up.
10,000 and up, but they might be moving up the ladder here pretty soon.
Correct. We're applying for another $20,000 grant, and hopefully we'll get that, and that'll bump them up to 40,000, and then one more year we'll be able to do it again, putting them at 60,000.
So you can apply every so often for more funding from the Ronald McDonald Charities.
Yes, a lot of grant organizations are that way. They have a limit as to how much, but then they say you can apply over 2, 3, 4 years. So a lot of times.
And I would suspect that even individual families or individuals can put some money out to help this cause and get recognized just as much as, say, Ronald McDonald or some of the others that are up here.
Correct. And we have different options for people to give. So if somebody wants to give $10,000, they don't have to write a $10,000 check. They can do it over a 3-year period or a 5-year period, get billed monthly, get billed quarterly, whatever works for their family.
And the money is tax deductible.
It's all tax deductible, although we always say, talk to your accountant.
Got to get that disclaimer in there, because if you don't, there might be some legal ramifications.
That's correct.
So I want to get that disclaimer in. And again, and at the end of our segment together, we'll also be giving out information. But let's say that somebody wants to come in with $1,000 or $5,000, $10,000. How can they go about getting more information to help contribute to this?
They can contact me directly. Again, I'd be happy to give them a tour or talk to them over the phone. They can see what's going on our website. But call me. I'm very available.
Now, we're going to go back to our table discussion in just a moment. But what I'd like for you to do, Joanne, is you take a look at Robert behind the camera, and I'd like for you to give out our phone number, your phone number, not ours, but your phone number and your website, so people can be able to get this jotted down and be able to get a hold of you.
Okay. Our website is www.simivalleycf.org. My phone number is 800-342-9953. And our email, info@simivalleycf.org.
All right. We're going to go back over to the table and continue our discussion over there.
Okay, great.
All right. Let's go.
So we've gotten to 1.1, and so we're on our way. But I'd like to, in the next few months, close it out.
So you're looking, obviously, for grant funding.
Yes.
That's going to probably pick up the bulk of it, but there's always that trailing edge that, the community can get involved.
Yes.
What are your goals for that down the road?
Well, we're going to have community events and an online campaign through our website so that people can either donate straight online or come here, like a buy a brick kind of thing, so that people can have an opportunity to put their name down there. And we want this to be community supported. So through these different opportunities of activities, and my staff and my board are coming up with the ideas that will do that. But for sure, we'll have special events right here so people have the opportunity to see what this facility is going to do.
Now, to date, what has been the reaction from the city itself? Have they been behind you and been supportive? What's the story there?
The city of Simi Valley has been outstanding. They are extremely supportive. They've actually gifted us some money, but the whole $1 a year lease was the city council all unanimously supporting that. So they are active in helping us get things going. They helped us get that bathroom done, and so I can't say enough. They're very supportive, both staff and the council.
That's wonderful, and of course, I'm sure that by the time you're ready for it, the community as a whole will be very supportive of you as well.
Yes, actually, I get a lot of questions. When are you guys going to open? So I want to be able to give a firm answer soon.
Well, that's wonderful, and you're giving out tours for people that might be interested in seeing what's taking place and to capture the vision of what this place will ultimately look like come January or right after the first of the year.
Yes, and if somebody wants to have a tour, they can just email me, call me. I'll set it up and take the time to walk through with them and explain what's going on.
At the end of our video here today, we'll have the contact information for you, and that way they can call you, email, whatever form of communication that you want to use to get a hold of Joanne. It will be made available to you. How long has this project been underway now?
We started in earnest about 2 years ago, the campaign and getting the architectural drawings done. I talked to Elaine Freeman, who is a longtime resident, and she's very active in the community, is on the Park and Rec board. And she did say it was 40 years ago. It's this idea happened. But in 2009, they started to work on
implementing.
Let's actually first work on doing this and making it a reality.
Tell us a little bit about your background. You're the executive director of the Community Foundation. What has been your life's journey to bring you to this point?
Well, I've worked in the nonprofit world most of my adult life. I won't say how long.
only a few years, right?
But I primarily worked with people with developmental disabilities, and I worked in Minnesota and South Dakota and now California. About 4 years ago, Lee Nixon approached me on taking on this task. And it seemed like a new, exciting adventure for me, and I jumped at the opportunity.
So you've been involved and you're moving forward. It sounds like you're going to have just a wonderful operation in this building. I mean, we had a chance to tour through the building a little bit, and we can see where like interface is going, and the free clinic will be heading, and different organizations as they take up residence in here, mini mansions and that kind of thing. So there's really an opportunity for people to avail themselves of these services where they might have to, go all over the place to find out. It's kind of like a one-stop shop.
It absolutely is, and it's going to benefit so much the residents of Simi Valley and Moore Park.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming to the end of our time together. I'd like for you to give us your website and phone number, email information, so that we can put that up for you and people can get a hold of you and be a part of this amazing project that you have undertaken here.
Okay. Again, our website is www.simivalleycf.org. Our phone number is 800-342-9953, and email is info@simivalleycf.org.
Excellent. There you have it. We want to thank you, Joanne, for joining us, and we hope to see you next time right here on News Junkies. I'm Bill DeFoy. It's a production of the Heritage Media Group.